Okay, with everything that you're going to see through this video disc, we're going to try to show you the movement, the positioning, and when it comes to the punches, you're going to have to learn not only the punch, but the defense against that punch. There are three ways of defending against a punch. One is to block, one is to slip, one is to use your feet to get you out of range. Those are the three basic ways of defending against whatever punch there is in the book. In this case, we've looked at the jab and the execution of the jab, and now we'll look at the defense against that jab. Now, again, this is all with right-hander versus right-hander or southpaw versus southpaw. We haven't really crossed the point of using, right-hander against southpaw or vice versa. So in this case, what we're dealing with is with the lead hand, and in this case, the left hand, coming out from your opponent who's throwing a jab at you, and you're in your boxing position. Now, we spoke about the boxing position. Hands are nice and held high, forearms face the opponent. This is basically where you want to be to have good protection. When the jab comes at you, in terms of blocking it, the simplest and easiest thing to do is simply to turn the right hand, catch it solid, and just deflect it slightly over your own left shoulder or in the direction of your left shoulder. And that uses basically the force of the other person's jab to do that. You really don't have to do anything other than just deflect it over the shoulder. It's quite simple. Now, some of the mistakes which fighters make are often reaching for it, trying to knock it down, trying to push it across. You don't want to do that. All you want to do is have just a slight rotation where your hands, the opening is here. In turning it, will block that, and you're able to deflect it with the heel of your hand over the shoulder. That's the best way in terms of blocking a punch. In slipping, of course, you could be out here, the jab could come, you could slip one way or you could slip the other, just taking your head out of the center and making the opponent miss the shot. You can get away with that. You don't want to keep repeating that because the opponent starts to time you and fake you and make you move into a punch you don't necessarily want to move into. But that's another way of doing it. The other way is simply to just step away from a shot. Either bounce away, the punch comes, you bounce with the punch, you come right back into your original position. Again, you must use all three effectively. But the basic way when you're in your position without wanting to give up ground is to just block, and that puts you in a position to counterpunch. All right, well, those are some of the basic principles of throwing the jab to the head and the defense against it. And now, of course, there is the possibility of throwing the jab to the body. Now, I don't know if you want to expect that you're going to knock anybody out, and don't get any misconceptions that it's the only punch you should throw. But it is an effective punch in various reasons. For example, setting something up, using it as a feint, diverting the guy's attention to the body so you can throw another punch to the head. And it could be a shot that you could actually land solidly into the solar plexus area and really give the guy second thoughts about wanting to attack you full force. So much like the jab, not much changes with that in the way you throw it. It's basically, the only difference is, whereas we talked about offsetting the T of the shoulders and unbalancing them to the left to throw the jab, in this case, you're well served to kind of just pop down because you want to get to the level of where the guy's body is to throw the punch, and that is also a secure position to get you out of the way. But you want to pop it. You can't bend over too much because then that negates the possibility of throwing something else off of it. So if you can just pop down on it here, just low enough that keeps you out of danger where you can kind of find the range, you're able to come back with the right hand over the top or throw something else, or you can pop him here and then come back up to the head and throw it, or you pop him here and then he thinks you're going to go there again and you can feint him and go back up to the head. So it's really a punch that's kind of imaginative, smart, when to use it, when to divert his attention, give your opponent something else to think about.